Hello everyone, Philippator here, and welcome to this exceptionally rainy video of Total War Rome 2. In this battle, I have brought the Luisitani, and my friend SithBlue has brought the Ardiaei. I'm going to hit play for a while, because it takes a moment for everybody to walk into position. Back in patch 15, I think it was patch 15, either 15 or 16, the Luisitani were actually one of the power factions. These veteran shield warriors had the Frenzy ability, and they had these really high attack, really great charge, and they could just plow into infantry and steamroll them. And it was actually my friend Blademaster who came up with the original infantry sword rush using the Luisitani. You all know where Blademaster's channel can be found. You can all go and send him hate mail at your earliest convenience. No, in all seriousness, him and I joke about the infantry spams and how he's been trying to come up with a good counter for it and just not quite there yet, but he's doing his best. Anyways, I guess I should have gone over the army while I was over here. I have these 4 Cantabrian cavalry, I have 4 Balearic slingers, I have 6 Iberian swordsmen, 4 veteran shield warriors, and then 2 Luisitani nobles. Now, as I mentioned, my opponent is playing as the Ardiaei, or the Illyrians, if you will. And back when the Luisitani were a power faction, this was a matchup I saw several times. The Luisitani with their extremely high attack values against the Ardiaei with their extremely high defensive values. Where are they? Where are they? Somewhere. These Illyrian noble hoplites, look at that, 115 armor, 53 melee defense, really tanky units. So blue here has brought 3 noble hoplites, 4 Illyrian hoplites, some axe warriors, some Celtic warriors, some slave slingers, some slave javelin men, and then somewhere around here is an Illyrian marine. Oh, and of course 3 Tarentine cavalry. Yeah, they're in Marines. These are a pretty cool unit. I kind of like these guys. Anyways, now granted, Ardiaei, or not Ardiaei, Luisitani has fallen by the wayside. Again, as I mentioned, the veteran warriors no longer have their frenzy ability, and they may have gotten an attack buff. I think they lost their bonus versus infantry, and so they're just not worth bringing. Blue and I are skirmishing a little bit with our horse cavalry, trying to dodge each other's shots. I don't think either of us has actually lost any cavalry. But I see here come the Marines, so I'm going to pull back towards the safety of my line. I was trying to draw him into my Balearic slingers, but oh well. Obviously, you can see my army has lots of skirmishing capability, lots of javelins and slingshots. Hopefully the idea being that I can kite backwards and get off lots of these javelin volleys, slowly whittle down the HP of these very tanky units. Whereas all Blue has to do is, again, he just has to tank, and let his other units do the killing. Now, I never quite understood these Illyrian noble hoplites. Historically, I mean. The Illyrians were, obviously, they were pirates and raiders, hence the DLC they came with. The Illyrian coastline was a haven for piracy. Think of one of the pirate cities in the Caribbean. You would go and hide there, you would store your loot, you would have a nice, safe berth for the night. Until the Romans took it over. When was that? Middle 200s? I forget exactly when they took it over. The point being, I'm reminiscing here. The point being, these Illyrian noble hoplites, again, such a huge armor value. I don't know how these guys would have worked, or if they would have worked, historically speaking. The Illyrians did use their slaves as light skirmishing troops. They did use mercenaries from the area. But if most of these guys were pirates on ships, why would you bring these noble hoplites with such heavy armor? If your ship sinks, you're a goner. Or at the very least, you've lost all of that money you've spent because your armor is now sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Anyways, I don't know a whole lot about the Illyrians. I may have to go and do some reading, and then in the next video issue an update or an apology to the ancient Illyrians. But yeah, like I said, we're just kind of walking around. I'm looking with my Cantabrian cavalry to try and get a spot to skirmish. Obviously, I don't want to attack him if he has these Illyrian marines as backup, and I'm pretty sure that one of the Tarentine cavalry can take on 2 of my Cantabrian cavalry. The Cantabrians were some of the best light horsemen you could get in Spain, very similar to the Numidians you could get from Africa. But again, these are light horsemen. They're not actually supposed to be used in combat, again, historically speaking. The idea was you would throw a couple of javelins Your enemy horses would become enraged, they would chase you, you could split them apart and then kill each horseman one at a time. Then several hours later, come back and finish the fight. Sending one of these Cantabrians headfirst against one of the Tarentines is just going to be suicide. Why am I not triple speeding this? Seriously. Here we go. Alright, moving forward. He's repositioning his Tarentines. I am moving around my Iberian... Oh, those aren't Iberians. Moving around my Balearics. And we've stopped. I'm trying to move as little as possible because of the rain and the fatigue that rain grants. The rain was Blue's idea. He was the one that picked the map. This is a really nice map, with the exception of, this little hill. It's a really nice map. And even that little hill isn't so bad. So nice. Balearic's getting some shots against the Javelin Men, doing some damage. Probably should have gone after the Celtic Warriors instead. Tarentine Cavalry coming in. I think he's going for the Balearic Slingers. He's going to get stopped by my Cantabrian Cavalry. My nobles are going to get a Javelin volley off. Tarentines are going to go down by about 50. Yeah, about 15. Not sure I made the correct decision here. I decided to pull the nobles back to my lines. Again, I want more time to skirmish. I maybe should have just charged the hoplites, because now these Tarentine cavalry are going to get a charge off against my nobles. A bunch of the nobles are going to get knocked over. Swordsmen and my Cantabrians are going to throw javelins. Tarentines are going to go down. Nobles haven't actually lost anyone yet. Okay, now they've lost 2. Cantabrians coming in to help save them. Illyrian hoplites getting knocked over. That's hilarious. Very heavy spear troops getting knocked over by light missile cavalry. But this is where it all kind of goes to pot. I'm worried too much about my Luisitani nobles and trying to get them back. And the rest of my infantry kind of just gets stuck wherever they are. I send these 2 Iberian swordsmen against hoplites and Illyrian noble hoplites to try and slow them down. They don't get the chance to use their javelins, and you can see these guys have 12, 5. They really don't get any kills. Let's see. Hoplites are going to get a charge against my swordsmen. My micro is just failing all across the map. I think I'm worried more about my Cantabrians right now, which, again, horrible, horrible waste. Noble's going to go up against the mercenary axe warriors, and it's actually going to go badly for my nobles. That's odd. Popping headhunt. My nobles will be tired afterwards, but it's necessary. Yeah, that's another cool-looking unit. I like the little shield. The little shield is historical. I spend way too much time thinking about if this game is historically accurate. Veteran shield warriors are going to get charged by hoplites. Not going to get their charge bonus off. Waste of a unit. Shame, shame on me. Iberian swordsmen again getting crushed in melee. More swords getting crushed in melee. Never had the time to get rid of their javelins. Blue understood what he was doing and what he needed to do to win. He needed to run forward and catch me before I could skirmish away. I was able to use these 2 Cantabrians to get into his melee line. And so I took out a lot of the javelin men and a lot of the slingers. And now I'm going to try and skirmish with the general. And of course, with the way the skirmish mode works, my men walk into melee mode before they actually fire their javelins. It's a bit of an embarrassment. My general is going to get trapped. I had meant to pop second wind on this noble. Oh wait, I did. Oh, maybe I did. Never mind. Let's see. Luisitani nobles winning against noble hoplites. Slingers doing their very best to get as much slingshot off as they can. My Iberian swordsmen have now engaged with the mercenary Celtic warriors. And the Iberians are actually going to lose in a prolonged melee. Nice to see some of these, lighter troops going at it. Anyways, where was I? Veteran shield warriors are now in engagement. They're not doing so hot. Cantabrians again looking to snipe the general. Not going so well so far. This unit of veteran shield warriors is now chasing this Tarentine cavalry because I don't know what else to do. If I try and run back to the engagement, I'll get missiles thrown at him until they're destroyed. If I chase, I'll still get missiles thrown at him. Okay, now I'm bringing him back to the engagement. Veteran Shield Warrior is losing in melee. I have to put it like that. That moon is just too bright. That's just... Eventually, these guys are just going to get overrun. There's simply too many enemy soldiers coming at them. What a mess. Just imagine how slippery this would have been. And that should be something. Rain battles, they, all the infantry loses, or I guess all the soldiers, lose a little bit of attack and defense just because they're slipping around too much. Sounds like somebody just bit the dust. Good parry. Good parry on that guy. Anyways, let's see what's going on. So yeah, so now it's simply a matter of my infantry not doing what they needed to do. The Iberian swordsmen have been defeated by the Celtic warriors, and now he has 2 units of Celtic warriors chasing down my slingers. I'm going to try and get some of my Balearics, trying to get them to shoot the Celtic warriors in the back, but it's just not quite going to work. The Celtic warriors obviously spread out in very thin lines. Again, Blue knows exactly what he needs to do to win this battle. So yeah, a couple dead Celtic warriors there. Slinger's just desperately trying to get out of the way. Let's go back to the main engagement. So Cantabrian's got a rear charge against these Illyrian hoplites, and they're actually going to win a little bit. The Illyrian hoplites are going to rout, but it's still too much. Both of my Luisitani nobles are dead, my left flank is nothing, it is no more, and now my center and then my right will eventually collapse. Nice. And yeah, there goes another unit of shield warriors. And my line is just crumbling, and somehow this battle actually goes for another 2.5 minutes. That's right, he has to concentrate on this last unit of shield warriors, which is winning against the Marines. Tarentines are going to come in and deliver a flank charge. That's going to be the end of them. Not before one last revenge killing. And yeah, even with 3 slingers trying to deal with these Celtic warriors, it just wasn't quite enough. And this is another thing they do. If your men are facing the wrong way, they'll move around before they start shooting. This was all me, but quite painful to watch. So it looks like we're going to get 88. Yeah, 7 to... another 5 kills. But again, nothing to change the course of the battle. So we'll just triple speed until the end. All that's going to happen is he's going to chase down the slingers one by one. Tarentine Cav coming in. Gonna get rid of them. And it's at this point I decide the battle's over. I'm just going to leave my slingers there and let them accept their fate. And that's that. So, great game to Blue, obviously. I fought my hardest, but I lost. Let's take a quick look at what's happening. Again, the main thing being that he rushed in very quickly and engaged my Iberian swordsmen before they had time to throw their javelins. 6, 19, 15 kills is not nearly enough. And yes, the veteran shield warriors and the Luisitani nobles, for the most part, did pretty good, but they really needed that javelin support. And so what I probably should have done is pulled my Iberian swordsmen back even further behind the Luisitani nobles, charged forward with the nobles, and then threw javelins over the heads of my nobles and my shield warriors. Balearic's doing okay. These are very expensive units. Cantabrians, again, okay. Nothing to write home about. Probably not going to bring these units in the next battle I do. Obviously, I want to do some more Luisitani videos. Hint, hint, foreshadowing. But yeah, on the other hand, I think Blue's army speaks for itself. The Celtic warriors doing a good job. The Axe warriors doing a good job. The hoplites holding long enough for the actual melee infantry to do the damage they need to. Yeah, like I keep saying, he knew how to win, and he won. So, great game to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. As I mentioned, I'm going to bring you another Luisitani video in the next one, where I modify the army a little bit, and I'm actually able to win. So, stay tuned for that. I'll see you in the next one.